We are live. Welcome to Good Thinking Live. We're doing something different today, a couple of different things, actually two majorly different things. One, I'm just testing live streaming simultaneously, simulcastingly to LinkedIn Live, which is the show, YouTube Live, which is in a various state of moving into modernity, which you can subscribe. It's just Becky Saltzman. And now I'm trying this just today on Facebook Live. And I'm streaming to my personal channel because I want to get some feedback from friends and stuff. And I know you'll be brutally honest, but I'm not sure if this will stream on the regular to Facebook because this is really a LinkedIn Live show and a YouTube Live show. So welcome. Let me know that you're here. As usual, I want you to let me know in the comments who you are and where you're from. I see we have Pam. Fantastic. I'm so happy because I figured out how to make the comment section bigger. I've always been like back and forth and struggling because I'm blind with my poor old eyes. I want to so let me know that you're here, where you're from, and this is going to be a hugely participatory show today, and something that I've never done before in virtual. So we're going to try this. All right, so Good Thinking. The show is about taking just a little bit of time away from all the time we spend and have to spend on what to think. Do this like this. This is how it's done. This is how you should. This is what you should think, and just giving ourselves, rewarding ourselves with just a little bit of time on how to think, improving how we think, and that's really the gist of the show. We've got, one thing that's cool is new people who are regulars, please let me know that you're here. We've got Jeff. Yay! That's my brother. He's here from Bellevue. Hi, Jeff. All right, this is the first draft. You guys are going to see this first. This is the first draft. And Patty McNally, amazing designer, is designing the Good Thinking Manifesto poster. And it's going to be incredible. This is the very first draft. We're going to work on a few things, but her first drafts are like, wow. So this is just a little sneak peek of what it's going to look like. This is the Good Thinking Manifesto. So for those of you here, just so you know, you can reach me at appliedcuriositylab.com and request your free copy. And then we'll have it as posters and stuff later on the website. All right, we're going to get started because today we are going to be talking about something a little bit different. And usually we kind of focus on critical thinking and strategic thinking and creative thinking and all habits and all the different ways of improving how to think. But this time we're going to delve into my number one rooted favorite topic, curiosity. And we're going to try something different I'm going to try something different because I've never tried to do the curiosity archetype portion in any version of it that we do in our workshops virtually. But since we've created three incredible critical thinking virtual workshops, and we're seeing this may be the new normal for a while or an option even in perpetuity. I want to see how the curiosity archetypes work. This means that you get to find out just a little bit about what archetype you might be. So that's the purpose of the show. So again, let me know that you're here. And I don't know if the comments stream in from Facebook. I think they are streaming in from Facebook and LinkedIn. All right. So the three critical thinking workshops that we have virtually are dissecting thinking to capture insights. It's incredible. The second one is essential critical thinking questions to avoid being blindsided. And the third is the critical thinking commandment. Thou shalt not succumb to these cognitive biases and logical fallacies when decision making. So all of these workshops are really designed to differentiate between critical thinking, strategic thinking, and creative thinking, and they are specifically critical thinking workshops. But this today is the curiosity archetype. All right. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, being 10, you're really, really curious, and 1, not so curious, how curious are you? And bear in mind, this is not the primary question, but want to know. Facebook isn't showing comments from LinkedIn and vice versa. Okay, well then what that means is that I'm seeing all your comments, but you're only seeing comments that are comments on the platform that you're watching this on. Okay, good. Steven's here from Cascadia. Thank you. All right, this is a test, so I'm asking friends and family to kind of tell me how it's working. All right, 1 to 10, really curious and not so curious. Just put in your number for this question. And it's going to be important as we get into the archetypes. Now, I'm going to clarify something. Some people are you might feel that you're very situationally curious, like you're really curious about a few topics, but you have really low curiosity about others. So this is an aggregate. Other people feel that they are kind of curious about a lot of things, maybe not an expert in any one thing or curious about any one thing, but instead they're highly curious about a lot of things. Now, we've got an 8 for Doug. We've got a Stephen, a 9. I think I missed a comment. Pam is a 10. All right, you guys, excellent. Be sure to tell me where you're from, because what you'll see with this, with LinkedIn Live, this element brings in an international audience, so it becomes really cool. All right, there are 2 kinds of curiosity that we talk about at Applied Curiosity Lab. One is free-range curiosity, and one is applied curiosity. A lot of times when we're talking about this the free range, we're talking about this lamenting, remember when childlike sense of curiosity, remember when we were so curious, we lose our curiosity. We need to cut ourselves some slack as grown-ups, because what we're usually talking about is this free range curiosity. I would equate it to basic science, like studying the molecular structure of cells to learn more about the molecular structure of cells. So learning for the sake of learning. Staring up at the universe, looking under rocks, that kind of thing. Applied curiosity, however, is different. And Vinay, I'm going to say a couple of hellos before I get into applied curiosity. Vinay, hi from Delhi. Great, I'm so glad people are here, because this is going to be fun. And you should see my situation here. I'm going to show you all my accoutrements that we usually bring to the workshop. I'm trying to surround myself and do this all myself. Anyway, all right. So applied curiosity is really the application of curiosity to solve problems, or to get at the root of things, or to challenge assumptions. It is really the foundation that you need to even begin to embark on any of the 3 legs of the good thinking stool, meaning critical thinking, strategic thinking, and creative thinking. So curiosity comes first. And applied curiosity is usually what we're talking about here. And think about that like applied science. In the case of studying the molecular structure of cells, in free range curiosity, it's just to understand more about how they work. In applied curiosity, it might be to come up with better chemotherapy protocols, for example. So what we're talking about today is applied curiosity. And so you're going to find out that not just how curious are you, but the better, more intriguing question, the revealing question, is how are you curious? Because it turns out that when it comes to applied curiosity, we all default to using curiosity in one of 4 ways. And again, there's nuance in all of this. Are you extremely this way? Maybe. But you also might be kind of this way and that way. But there are 4 kind of archetypical ways that we default to using curiosity. And those are the curiosity archetypes. And that's what you're going to find out. I can't do the whole archetype thing today, but I'm going to do some of it. And I'm going to have my curiosity quiz. I'm going to open up the box here. We are going to then, the envelope, please, reveal your archetypes. And you got this curiosity crate. So this is just some of the stuff that I'm dealing with, trying to make this all work in a virtual world. So bear with, let me know if it works. I'm going to say hi to a couple people. And that, Michael Allen Harrison from Portland. Fantastic, glad you're here. And let me know who you are and where you're from. And we are going to get started. All right, we're just going to jump right into this quiz, because that's what everyone wants to know. What is your archetype? And we got to be quick, because this is a quick show. I'm going to pick There are 11 questions that make up the Curiosity Archetype quiz. I'm going to pick 4 at random. And those 4 will give you a sense. It will not tell you definitively, because this is not the kind of quiz where you can answer and you kind of know what the right answer is so you can game the system, because there is no right answer. These archetypes are all beautiful. These archetypes are all meaningful, and as is your curiosity. So we're going to start with question number 1. And I'm going to say hi to Anna from Lima, Peru. So glad you're here. And the reason I'm saying hi to everyone is you can't see on Facebook where people are from, and you can't see on LinkedIn where people are from, and YouTube either. So this is great. All right, ready for question number 1. And here is how it's going to work. I'm going to give you, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give all 4 questions, and you are going to do it a little differently than we do in the workshops, but you are going to pick A, B, C, or D as what is resonates most with you. How do you feel? What is the right answer for you? There's no right answer, but what is the right answer for you? Now, bear in mind, some of these distinctions are hair thin. They're very, very thin distinctions. But the thing about curiosity is to delve into that nuance of the distinctions so that you can get to your right answer. All right. Now, it would be awesome for you to share your answer. And it's totally safe to do so because they're all great archetypes. But you can just put in number 1, B, number 2, C, whatever in the comments. All right. But if you want to keep them for yourself, keep it to yourself, get a little piece of paper and keep track. We're only going to do 4 of the 11. All right. Number 1. I can usually, are you ready? A, find something interesting to discover. And I think I'll read them each of these twice so that you have a chance to kind of think about it. Find something interesting to discover is A. I can usually B, find something interesting to think about. I can usually C, come up with ideas and solutions to problems. And D, I can usually find something to challenge myself with. All right, so again, A is, and it starts with I can usually for all of them. A, find something interesting to discover. B, find something interesting to think about. C, come up with ideas and solutions to problems. And D, find something to challenge myself with. All right, so mark your answers down either in the comment section, or if you're shy, if you're comment shy, mark them on a piece of paper or just think about them. This is easy. It's Monday morning. We want to get the week off with a good test result, which is anything you choose. All right. I think I'll pick next question. Next question. I'll just pick number 5. Okay, 5. Ready? I am the first to A, recognize and point out an unusual sight or strange sound. B, oh, scratch that. That's D. These are out of order. Scratch that. Pretend I didn't say that. I hope you didn't click off and miss this. Start over. That was D. So you get a little hint at D. I am the first to A, talk to strangers or try an exotic food. B, share an idea or figure out a better way. C, create a helpful habit or present a different perspective. And D, recognize and point out an unusual sight or strange sound. Okay, I'll read it again just to make sure. I'll go quickly. I am the first to A, talk to strangers or try an exotic food. B, share an idea or figure out a better way. C, create a helpful habit or present a different perspective. Or D, recognize and point out an unusual sight or strange sound. Now be sure to put your numbers down so we know which ones you're talking about, because there's a delay. So if you have C, Jeff, or B, let's see what we've got here. Let's scroll down. Susan, we've got B, find out something interesting to think about. Vinay, B, fantastic. Just if you want to keep track, and then it can help me comment after, because you may be watching this later. And then I can comment about what little bit more insight. If I know if it's like 1D, whatever, 1B, then you can do it that way. That's your choice. All right, we've got 2 more. I'm going to pick number 6. What the hey? 1B. Pam's 1B. All right, 6. Ready? This is a fun one. Okay, you will see why this is not a normal, this curiosity archetype. And when we do these workshops for corporations and organizations, it gets kind of crazy because it's not like a DISC or a Myers-Briggs. This is a default way that you use curiosity. It doesn't define you forever. And we're going to talk about this at the end because this is why it is so powerful and so fun. All right, number 6. If my best friend owned a circus and gave me free rein, I would A, explore every tent. B, take a lesson with a lion tamer. C, interview the clowns. Or D, help create new acts. All right, do it again. We'll do it one more time. I like this circus question. I'm kind of a little obsessed with circuses because it's something that people, like some people have this real aversion to clowns, and other people, it's like this fun, and other, then there's the animal thing and how you treat it. And it's just like this whole range of our beautiful human weirdness. So I have this kind of fascination with clowns. All right. 6 again. If my best friend owned a circus and gave me free rein, I would, and this is number 6, I would A, explore every tent. B, take a lesson with a lion tamer. C, interview the clowns. Or D, help create new acts. So that's number 6. Put your answers 6, A, B, C, or D. And normally with these 11 questions, there's also, we rank these things because you find out what not only your default archetype, but where you might have opportunities with applied curiosity to tap into the archetype traits of other archetypes. All right. Now the last question, we'll do number 10. Just picked it at random. We'll see how this works. All right. Ready? Number 10. It is true that A, I often have ideas for myself and for others. Okay. B, wherever I go, I find interesting things. C, I view challenging situations as opportunities to learn and grow. D, I prefer to work and play in unpredictable environments. All right. Now we'll do it one more time. Do number 10 because this is the last one. We'll do number 10 one more time. It is number 10. It is true that A, I often have ideas for myself and others. B, wherever I go, I find interesting things. C, I view challenging situations as opportunities to learn and grow. And D, I prefer to work and play in unpredictable environments. So we've got Vinay saying 6A, Doug saying 6A, Pam, question 1, B, question 2, B, question 3, A. That's perfect. Okay. Now we're going to get into what this means for you. All right. Now, normally these 11 questions root out extreme variables in other, you might be like extremely one type of archetype in these 4 questions, but the other questions sway you toward another archetype. So this isn't necessarily what your archetype is, but it gives you a little glimmer of what it might be. So Vinay says 10B, Doug says 10B, Pam says 4C. All right, are you ready to learn about the archetypes? All right, I'm using my the little cheat sheet that I use when we do the workshops in person because, I got to cheat. All right, plus I have to pay attention to what questions we did. So because normally it's different. I'm trying to do this all virtually. Oops. My glasses. My earphones, my earbuds fell out, my glasses fell down. This is what happens when I have all this stuff around. All right, number 1. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to reveal the archetypes. And then I'm going to ask you which one you think you are, and then I'm going to reveal what your answers might reveal. That's a better order. We do it a little differently in the workshops, but this is a better order. All right. This is the envelope, please. Let me tell you about the 4 archetypes. The first archetype is Leonardo da Vinci, or Da Vinci, depending on how you pronounce it. Observer. The observers are often described as Renaissance men or women. Leonardo believed in the accumulation of direct knowledge and facts through observation. He stressed the importance of saber vendere, knowing how to see. And his curious quote is, all our knowledge has its origins in our perceptions. So how many of you think, because it's better before for me to tell you what you think, tell you what might be the truth is to find out what you think rather. How many of you think you are a Leonardo observer? Might be. You don't know the other archetypes. All right, let me know. Number one. Number two archetype is Amelia Earhart, adventurer. Adventurers are often viewed as daring in how they approach the world. And there's so much more to how these archetypes are used and can be used both in life and in work and organizations. We'll get into that. We'll see how much time we have. It might be a little long, so stay tuned. How many of you think that you are Amelias? Adventurers. And her curious quote is, adventure is worthwhile in itself. All right, how many of you think you might be Amelia, adventurers? The next archetype, Albert Einstein, solvers. Solvers are often viewed as scientists or identifiers of problems and solutions. So these are people who tend to default to using curiosity archetypes to solve problems. We've got Amelias who uses curiosity kind of as adventure, going to places, meeting different people, trying different foods, cross-pollinating. We've got Leonardos who observe, they see things that other people miss and perceive things that other people miss. We've got Einsteins who identify problems. They get to the root of the problem and they're solution seekers primarily. All right, the last one. Aristotle. Aristotles are thinkers. They often use curiosity to come up with new ideas, and they're constantly generating new ideas. They're often viewed as philosophers or thought leaders. And Aristotle's curious quote is, "It is the mark of an educated mind to entertain a thought without accepting it." And you guys are seeing how beautiful. The thing I love about these beautifully designed, again, hat tip to Patty McNally, these beautifully designed archetypes, is that there's little hidden things in them. It's not like a Where's Waldo, but it's kind of interesting. Little hidden things that reveal deeper meaning to the archetypes. And then within our workshops, and we'll do a little bit today, we go deep into how to use this as a tool, how to gather the other archetypes to kind of add to your tool belt, and how to form teams to accomplish things by adding specific things that these archetypes can bring to your toolbox. And that toolbox was hat tip to Jennifer Fehlberg. She is part of the Applied Curiosity team that makes all of the workshops fun and exciting and engaging. All right, now, how many of you think you're an Aristotle, an Albert Einstein, Amelia, or Leonardo da Vinci? Put in the comments before we reveal some of the information what you think you might be. It's interesting because when I do the workshops for organizations, we don't usually reveal what the archetypes are beforehand. So people then aren't like, I thought I was this, but then I'm that. But so this is a different way of trying it. We'll see how that works. All right. Are we ready to find out the answers to your questions and what that might reveal about you? Yes? Ready? Okay. Put in the comments what you think you are. Thinker. Vinay says thinker. Pam says Da Vinci. So Pam's observer. Vinay is a thinker. This is great. We've got Pam saying Aristotle. We've got two. We've got Pamela Morgan saying Aristotle, and we've got Pam Siggett hopefully I pronounced that right, saying Aristotle. We've got Susan saying Aristotle, Stephen, Leo. And again, Aristotle thinker, Leo observer. No Amelias, no one uses curiosity primarily for adventure. All right, let's see. What about the Einsteins? Or I should say fellow Einsteins. Reveal mine. Anyway, all right, here we go. Number 1, if you put A, answer A, which is find something interesting to discover, that tends to lean toward Leo, observer. All right, if you put B, find something interesting to think about, guess what? Aristotle. If you put C, come up with ideas and solutions to problems. I think you're seeing what's what, right? Einsteins. And if you put D, find something interesting to challenge myself with, Amelia Earhart's. Now, this is kind of number 1, the most obvious card of all. But, some of you, especially when you get to the circus, I dare you to figure out what's what. You'll have to tell me. All right, we've got Doug, a thinker, Cassandra, C. We've got Dulce, a solver, Einstein, fellow Einstein. Although there is no one better archetype. They are all it's so amazing. Humans are amazing. We're amazing. All right, next one, number 5. Are you ready to find out? I am the first 2. Number 5, A. So if you said A, talk to strangers or try an exotic food, Amelia, ding, ding, ding. If you said B, share an idea or figure out a better way, Einstein. If you said C, create a helpful habit or present a different perspective, that is Aristotle, thinkers. And if you said D, recognize and point out an unusual sight or strange sound, Leonardo, observer. All right, not quite as obvious, but still maybe in hindsight, once you know the archetypes, maybe a little obvious, which is why you want to take this test before you know the archetypes, because you don't want to game it. All right, next one, 666. If my best friend owned a circus and gave me free rein, I would, all right, A, explore every tent. You might think, that is Amelia. No, that is Leo, observer. B, take a lesson with a lion tamer. Amelia, ding, ding, ding. And C, interview the clowns, Aristotle, thinker. And D, help create new acts, Einstein, thinker. Now you'll see with this one, the distinctions become hair thin between them, but the difference between what you would choose gets bigger. So when the distinctions become finer, the choices become bigger to be more revealing. There's methods to this curiosity archetype madness. All right, last one. You ready? All right, let me know what you guys are thinking. We've got some solvers, we've got some thinkers, we've got some observers, but we don't have a single Amelia in our midst. All right, number 10. Are you ready? It is true that A, I often have ideas for myself and others. That is Einstein, solvers. B, wherever I go, I find interesting things. That is Leonardo, observer. C, I view challenging situations as opportunities to learn and grow. Now you might think, is that Amelia? No, that is Aristotle, thinker. And D, which leaves Amelia, adventurer, I prefer to work and play in unpredictable environments. All right, now, let me know so now, what did it turn out? Do you still believe that you are what you are or what you thought you were? Now remember, there are 11 questions to this, so it gets much more deep into it, and you might find something revealing about yourself, but I haven't figured out a way. This is just a short show. All right, now I'm going to give you a little bit of an idea of how this works. All right, and here is how you can use your archetypes thinking through projects. Let's say that you are thinking of starting a new project. Now is the time to start thinking about new projects because we're stuck at home to a large extent and we need to start, creating and reinventing. So let's just say that you come up with a new project and you want to do a pre-mortem, meaning you want to look to see, should I embark on this project? And the common question is, what could go wrong? But here's just a little glimpse, especially if you're a business looking to bring archetypes to your business. But if you're looking to bring just keep archetypes at your home, on your home, here's a little glimpse at how the archetypes can work. Now, before I do that, I want to comment. Pamela Morgan said, I got lost on the numbers. Could you run through them again? Probably we've got, I don't know exactly what running through them again is, but we've got questions 1, which is I can usually. Question 2 is I am the first to. Question 3, which is 6, technically, because it only goes 1. It goes question 1, 5, 6, and 10. So that might be why you got the number screwed up. So the first question is question 1, I can usually. The second question is question 5, I am the first to. The third question is question 6. If my best friend owned a circus and gave me free rein, I would. And the fourth question is question 10. It is true that. Okay, so hopefully that clears it up. Like I said, it's a little hard doing this with just a few and just a short time. But anyway, all right, back to the project and postmortem, because I want you to see how this can work. And then at the very end, I'm going to tell you a different way of thinking about this that could maybe, I don't know, revolutionize the way you think about your own curiosity. All right. So postmortem is a strategy that you use at the beginning of a project. It's not to question, what could go wrong, which is kind of the normal way we question things. It's really a thought experiment where you, and it sounds like, oh my God, negative Nelly, but it's extremely powerful, where you imagine you've completed the project or you've done the first stage of the project and it already has gone wrong. So there's a difference between what could go wrong and literally imagining it already has gone wrong. And this is how you can use your archetype and the archetypes of others to see, like if you're embarking on a new project, how can you think about this to get insights and get clarity about making a better decision? So this is where curiosity and these fun archetypes and critical thinking and good thinking all mushes together, because at the end of the day, here's the secret. It's all about making better decisions. All right, so here's how it works. If you're an Einsteins, you can ask questions like, what did we falsely assume? Or what was it that didn't work? Now, what was it that might not work is not the same as what was it that didn't work. What might we be falsely assuming versus what did we falsely assume? That's the difference in this postmortem, is you assume that it already didn't work. And it's not because we should never think about failure. It's really a very powerful way to gain insights. Now, I'll give you an example. Imagine you were trying to find out how many people were going to vote. So you were going to ask these people, are you going to vote? The way this works is more like asking them, how are you going to get your ballot to the ballot box? That's a better question. Asking better questions is part of our work. That's a better question if you really want to understand who's going to vote. All right. So we've got, Pam says, Pamela, good. I'm glad that worked. I'm a thinker, observer, adventurer, solver. 1 T way from Big Toast. I love it. Doug McLean, that's awesome. And some of us, when you do take this, you actually find that sometimes all the scores kind of hover very close to each other. And that usually is a sign that you have a high level of free range curiosity. Kind of interesting. It all ties in. All right, let's get to it, because we got the Einsteins and what they can ask in a pre-mortem. Let's do what the Amelias can ask. There's no Amelias here, but maybe you're watching this after the live stream and you're an Amelia, or maybe you're just comment shy. All right, Amelias can ask, who should I have talked to? Or who should we have talked to if it's a group project? Or where should we have gone, or where should I have gone to gain greater insights? Again, this is a pre-mortem, imagining the project that you are embarking on has already failed. All right, Leonardo's observers can ask, what did we not take into consideration? Or what did we not see or perceive that others did see or perceived. And seeing is one of the kind of defaults that we use when we talk about Leonardo's. But the thing about Leonardo's is it really has to do with perception. So seeing, hearing, noticing, all the senses. All right, Aristotle's thought leaders can ask, how could we have thought about this differently? Or what did we not take into consideration? So you start to see, we're going a little long. This is always supposed to be 30 minutes, but we're going a little long. You start to see that there is a lot of power to understanding what your archetype is. How do you just default to using curiosity? It doesn't lock you into using it that way for the rest of your life. Like, if you are like me and you're always like, someone tells you a problem and you just jump right to solution, annoying people like me, you might start to see that using curiosity to perceive things that others miss is consciously taking on some of the traits of a observer or Aristotle, coming up with new ideas. If you're constantly, coming up with solutions based on other people's ideas, they've told you what to think. Maybe when you kind of give yourself time to improve how you think, you're going to come up with some of your own ideas. And Aristotle's usually don't get stuck with starting with conclusions too soon. They don't. Aristotle's are not going to win an Olympic gold for jumping to conclusions. Let's just put it that way. All right. So hopefully this gave you a little taste of curiosity archetypes. If this worked and you want more of this kind of stuff, what I'm trying to do is test some of the stuff that we're doing in our live workshops and see if they can be adopted to a virtual setting. I know some can, but I'm not sure. So I don't know if this worked for you, if you found it interesting, if you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments. And if you're watching this afterwards, let me know. How did it work? It was only 4 questions, so it just gives you a little sample. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you guys so much for participating. It's so great seeing all the comments because I was able to figure out how to make the comments bigger so I don't have to kind of keep going up close to the screen. I didn't even have to put on my glasses. Anyway, welcome to Good Thinking. Thanks for being here. You can subscribe on YouTube at Becky Saltzman. Just smash that bell and you can get some notifications. You can, if you're following on LinkedIn, you can get a notification. We are here doing the show most Monday mornings at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And I don't know, did it work on Facebook Live simulcasting? I'm not sure. We'll see how it works. Also, if you want a copy of the Good Thinking Manifesto when it's out, be sure to participate here and send me an email through the website at Applied Curiosity Lab, and I will get you a free PDF of the Good Thinking Manifesto. All right. Thanks a lot.